faculty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? You found it. It actually did say 5:45 today. I tricked some of you. Even Bree couldn't find it. What's up? All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and hopefully we can get this out there to those that are watching the trial. The trial started today. We've got day one, and Grizzly True Crime is covering it. I'm sure you can find it just if you go on your tab and click trials. It's called the Stabbing to Death trial, but she calls it the Suitcase hid her body in a suitcase trial. All of the above, you guys. Jasmine Pace was stabbed and stuffed in a suitcase by her boyfriend. What happened? All right, do me a favor, for those that are here, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I know some people, it was last minute, couldn't find it, but I figured, hey, let me go ahead and film this and get it into the internets for those that are watching the trial this week. I want you guys to know. Thank you. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being back. Hello, Sharon, Foxy, Sunshine, Bree, Jen's Gypsy, all of you. Thank you. This is a really it's a brutal trial. Tomorrow, day 2, they're going to talk about cell phone data and dating apps. You guys, ladies, people, whoever's watching this, please be careful of dating apps nowadays. So many crimes now that we're finding on Tinder, Grindr, and all of the apps. This one is a crime that wasn't on the app, but the correlation of finding this crazy Jason Chen guy and starting a life with him came from a dating app. All right, so I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna post this up because I want you guys to see Jasmine Pace, and this was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're gonna use Channel 9's coverage. They compiled a video together of what happened in the last 2 years. There's just things of Jasmine, and I'll tell you how they met, etc. Myself, hold on. I'm gonna have to lower that music because we don't want music in here. All right. Before I get into that, let me tell you everything else about it. Yes, those dating apps, Augustina. Nowadays it's very common for the next generation, not my generation. I'm 45 years old, and my generation still met in a bar, maybe at a bookstore or Starbucks, something like that. But anybody that's in their 30s and below that, almost everybody meets on a dating app. And look at this young girl there with the baby. You guys, we're going to get into this case. She was stuffed into a suitcase after being stabbed brutally. All right, so let me quickly tell you the premise of the case. Jasmine Pace. Now, this was in Tennessee where Sebastian is, so it caught my eye right off the bat, and then the brutality of it. So they were looking for her during Thanksgiving week, you guys, in 2022. We're in 2025, and trials started today. All right, so early 2022, Jasmine Pace, who's the victim, and Jason Chen, both college students at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, meet on a dating app and begin to date. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail. You'll see more, but this guy looks crazy. He definitely looks crazy. Yeah, you guys, if you're not gonna stay single, try to meet people and get to know them better. Those apps scare me. Yes, another Tennessee. Augustina says we don't mess with those dating apps. I'm 49 and I'll never meet one of those things. You know what? I'm married for almost 20 years to my wife that I met in a freaking bar. So, it's just saying. Yeah, dating apps, as Reese would say, are very feral. Hashtag feral. Now, Chattanooga, Tennessee. You guys know Tennessee. Sebastian Rogers definitely caught my eye. And not many people are paying attention to this case. But this case is horrific. Grizzly True Crime is covering this. And day 2 is going to be even more graphic, I believe, because you know how when you start easing into it. All right. So almost 3 years, you guys. Almost 3 years. 2022, they met. Both college students, university, never think anything. Now, November 22nd, 2022, Jasmine, who's the victim, speaks with Jason, who's now on trial, on the phone for over an hour, and later goes to his apartment. She texts her mother, Katrina, saying she'd be staying at a friend's house for the rest of the week. Now, look at how quick this happened, you guys. Listen, Jasmine Pace goes to Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee. She goes to college with Jason. They both get on a dating app and meet. Now, during the week of Thanksgiving, she's already gone. Her life's already taken. Just before this, November 22nd, she's over at Jason's house. Tells her mom she's staying at a friend's. November 23rd, Jasmine's mother receives a text from Jasmine's phone at 2:18 in the morning, which pings her location. Okay, now November 26th, 3 days later, a post on Jasmine's Facebook page captioned Thanksgiving with my baby. Her family finds out that about this character Jason and begins reaching out of concern to her. A day later, November 27th, Jasmine's abandoned vehicle is found near Signal View condominiums. Her mother calls 911 to report her disappearance. Now remember, November 22nd, just 5 days earlier, she was on the phone with this Jason Chen guy who's now the defendant, who's on trial for stabbing her and stuffing her in a suitcase, you guys. They're all good 5 days earlier, texting with each other. She's going to spend the night. This is a new relationship. You're supposed to love on each other. 5 days later, her vehicle's abandoned at a local condominium. And by December 1st, 2022, Jasmine's body is found stuffed in a suitcase along the Suck Creek Road near Tennessee River. You guys, she was stabbed over 60 times. All right. Jason Chen, Jasmine's boyfriend, is now on trial for taking her life. Now, the case is pretty widespread, but I haven't seen it much on YouTube. And the trial is happening now. So I really wanted to get this story out and talk to you guys about it further, dig a little bit deeper. All right. So thank you guys for being here. I hope when we're done, we're gonna have pictures, Leah. And I just got into this. I posted this up since the beginning of the story. So I'm gonna play this like I do. I love visuals. Grizzly True Crime did a trial prep of this, but I didn't get that visual that I was looking for. She did a lot of reading, and I want to see these people. All right. You guys know me. You guys know that I need picture visuals. Bree knows. All right. Michelle says, what is it with the people and the suitcases? Gannon, Jorge, and now this girl. Right. I was thinking of that too. I was like, oh my goodness, another suitcase trial, right? They didn't call it that. Because listen up. They found her in a suitcase, you guys, and I'm glad you meandered over here, you guys. 60 times she was stabbed and then put into a suitcase. We're going to get into all this, Sharon. 60 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can't even get to that. So yeah, we're gonna get into all this, the history. We're gonna get into the visuals. We're gonna get into all that. So, missing Tennessee woman, 22, is found dead by the side of the road after her boyfriend was charged with the MURD word, when cops found blood stains at his apartment. Okay, so that's where we are. Her body was found. She's 22 years old, you guys. It was found one day after the bloody evidence was found at his home, at the University of Tennessee, Jason Chen. Now remember, this is only 5 days later. This happened after they were all good. Now they did a search of Chen's apartment and they found blood stains in the living room, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, and broken glass. So Jasmine's mother, Katrina, tracked her car down with the GPS, and well, this happened really quick, but trial hasn't. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna press play and try to answer your questions. Heaven, I just said that they were only dating. They were only dating very quickly. They were dating for how many days was it? Now, she was found. Let me tell you this real quick. I think I just told you. Early 2022, they met on a dating app early in 2022 by November 22nd. So that means that maybe 6, 7 months, you guys. No, 5 days was by the time she went over there to go hang out with her baby, what she called the guy. So we're going to get into it. All you guys are all excited. We're going to get into it. Yeah, they say lesbian brains are wired more similar to hetero male. Makes sense. You'd be more visually oriented. Well, there you go, Foxy Amazon. It's a good thing I love you and all of my crew here, because we're going to be talking about trans people too when we get into the case of Slender Man. All right, we're all visual here. Let's get going. They didn't date very long. She was only there for a few days over Thanksgiving, and she got stabbed 60 times and then shoved into the suitcase in a fetal position. What's up, Auntie Ree? How you doing? You guys do me a favor, hit the like button, and then when we're done here, do me a favor and share this. Let everybody know they need to watch this to get ready for the Grizzly trial. Let me play this real quick, and I'm going to lower the sound so we don't have to hear music. It'll cut me out. So this is her, and they're singing. There's music. This is her and the baby. It says sometimes you watch your kids, even the grown ones, do so little but so sweet, melts your heart. And then it says Jasmine Pace. Right, I don't want this song, so let's get into it. Hold on. This is her thing.
Chattanooga police say blood spatters found in a young man's apartment led them to charge him with homicide in the case of missing 22-year-old Jasmine Pace. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield.
And I'm Josh Rowe. The suspect, Jason Chen, is now in the Hamilton County Jail with...
All right, you guys are visual. Here's your visual picture. Now, I do not believe that was his baby. We're just starting right now. She absolutely met him on a dating app and was hanging out with him over the holiday of Thanksgiving. You know, you get time off. They both went to Chattanooga, Tennessee college. Nobody would have pegged this for what happened. Nobody. This is Tennessee, Michelle. Nobody would have pegged it for that. Now, yes, Shabusiness is still giving hell while in prison. She's crazy. But what's up? Good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are rolling in. Carrie, this monster, Jason, stabbed his girlfriend 60 times and then shoved her in a fetal position into a suitcase and dumped her on the side of the road. Let's go. This is going to follow 2 years of the case until we get to the trial, which started today. Tomorrow, they're going to go over the evidence of the cell phones and the dating app. Okay, so stay tuned tomorrow for the trial covered by Grizzly.
Without bond, he was booked this morning at the Williamson County Sheriff's Office, where his family has a home.
In the last hour, we obtained Chen's arrest affidavit that says those blood splatters were found in Chen's apartment when police went in with a search warrant. That apartment was the last place police say Pace was seen.
Hannah May has been following the story all day today. Is live outside the loft apartments where Chen lived. Hannah, what else did that arrest report reveal?
Josh, it's an update that Pace's family and friends are at a loss of words for. CPD's affidavit says they believe that Pace was murdered inside Jason Chen's apartment building just right behind me.
He currently is in custody, and
so you guys, all of you that have questions, don't worry. We're going to answer them all. This is fantastic. I dug this coverage up. I love when they do that, when a trial's coming and they take the local news and they compile it like they did with the Madeline Soto case, and it gives you everything and all the coverage. So you're going to see the apartments, you're going to see the car, you're going to see it all. Ashley, thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. Love you, girl. And those that donated on my Cash App earlier, thank you. And my Venmo, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, let's get into it. This is the coverage from the 2 years of their coverage up until the trial, you guys.
charges have been taken out for criminal homicide.
22-year-old Jasmine Pace was a missing person until District Attorney Cody Womp says the Chattanooga Police Department surfaced new evidence, and an arrest affidavit reveals they found blood splatters and cleaning supplies in Chen's apartment.
The last known location that we have for Jasmine would be at Jason Chen's apartment.
CPD Detective Zachary Crawford says Chen and Pace had a short relationship, and the affidavit says Chen was seen on Walgreens surveillance video buying cleaning supplies. Their investigation determined large amounts of blood had been wiped away in the North Shore apartment.
So nothing looks out of the ordinary, folks. I just told you the tale that's older than the Bible itself, right? Boyfriend meets girl meets boy, minus the dating app, right? Because that one you'd swipe left, swipe right. I don't know anything about that. Sherry, we just started. So this is a case that started trial today. You didn't miss a thing. Jasmine Pace was stabbed and stuffed in a suitcase by her boyfriend. And this is how it all happened. They found the blood. Her ping went directly to her cell phone at his place. They knew where she was, and yet this still happened. All right.
Pace's disappearance has caught the eye of social media as friends continue to post since neither Pace nor her body has been found.
Please stop scrolling and help me find my friend.
Now that Chen is in custody and charged, officials say they need the public's help.
Our main concern is Jasmine and where she is at. We will not stop until we find her. Any information that anybody has on the location, the whereabouts of Jasmine Pace.
Now, according to the affidavit, Chen had cuts on his right hand and his feet, showing that he was in an altercation. Chen is also currently being taken to Hamilton County Jail without bond. Reporting in Hamilton County, I'm Hannah May, News Channel 9.
Hannah, thank you. We have more details from that affidavit on our website, newschannel9.com.
Also tonight, we continue following a story that has gripped our area.
Memorializing the 22-year-old whose body police found Thursday afternoon on Suck Creek.
22. Isn't she a beautiful young lady? 22, you guys. She was 22 years old, just starting her life, going to Chattanooga, Tennessee University, just being a kid, growing up. My son is older than that. My son is 20, what is he now, 25? 25 years old, man. So this is going to explain it all for you. And then you'll be ready for day 2 of trial with Grizzly True Crime. All right. So thank you. Thank you guys for being in here. Jojo, thank you for gifting the membership. I love you guys. Everything's going to explain it right now. I love how they compiled this story together so that I can get it out to you. All right.
Described as the happiest girl you could meet, a beautiful woman, and an angel. The family now seeks justice after the arrest of UTC student Jason Chen. Police arrested and charged Chen with criminal homicide. One family member publicly called Chen calculated and accused him of using Jasmine's phone to send messages, pretending she was still alive and leaving town.
Charges have been taken out for criminal homicide in the county of Hamilton. The state of Tennessee is pursuing first-degree murder charges based on the evidence that we have at this time.
With Chen now in jail, we asked the DA's office if they plan to upgrade the charges now that they have Jasmine's body. In this affidavit, police say Jasmine's last known location was inside Chen's apartment, where they believe a violent altercation occurred, and police found bloodstains and broken glass. And we have yet to hear back from the DA's office on whether or not they plan to upgrade those charges. We do know that Chen's bond hearing is set for December 6th, and several family members have taken to social media asking people to show up in support of Jasmine and to urge the judge to continue his no bond order for Chen.
Now remember, trial started today. Tomorrow they're going to go over all of the dating app evidence. You guys might want to watch that tomorrow with Grizzly. And now other channels are streaming it, but Grizzly does a fantastic job. I love her. That's my queen of true crime. My niece was 22 when she met online, stabbed. Oh my goodness, really? Oh no, sorry, Sharon. You guys see what's happening here? Enjoy it. Yes, enjoy your peace, Jeep. Enjoy being single. Don't fall for all the hype about, oh, we're going to be in a relationship. Meet people organically and then be as safe as you can. Very scary world, you guys. Right. Here he is again, the monster that's being convicted right now.
Charges in her murder. News Channel 9's Leslie Dominique spoke to people who knew her at a very somber ceremony tonight.
It's pouring rain in Coolidge Park, but loved ones of Jasmine Pace say whether it was rain or shine, they were going to be honoring her tonight.
If the light is extinguished, and how do you keep the world a lit place? How do you keep it bright and beautiful?
As rain pours.
Now, that was Jasmine's dad. What I love about this coverage here, what they did with this news station is they started from day one when she went missing, and then they moved all the way up until the trial. So you get to see the family. You get to see the vigils. With Madeline Soda, we have hundreds of videos you'd have to go through and watch to catch all of it, which I'm trying to bring out to you guys right now. But this, you get to see her beautiful demeanor. You don't see her demeanor, but you kind of do with the pictures and the people that surround her. And yes, it was on Thanksgiving. Sharon says it was on Thanksgiving too. Oh my goodness, this was as well. Freaking Thanksgiving, you guys.
Down in Coolidge Park, candlelights flutter under the Market Street Bridge. Loved ones of Jasmine Pace share sweet memories of the woman who they say was a light.
She was a wonderful person, a wonderful friend, and her soul is just forever with God.
Childhood friends of Pace say they will never forget her voice.
She did love to sing. She's always loved to sing.
It's a voice that hundreds have already heard. Pace's mother shared this video of her daughter singing. The post reads, "Sometimes you watch your kids, even the grown ones, do something so little but so sweet, and it melts your heart." Loved ones say Jasmine's story has created a platform for other domestic violence and missing cases to be heard.
Because Jazzy blew up so much, there's been pages that shared her info that other people have just shared. So all these other children and stuff that are missing and that are hurting are getting a lot more attention and getting the community behind them.
At Coolidge Park, a Chattanooga community stands with the Pace family. Now a story that has reached national and even international airwaves leaves a legacy of Jasmine Pace.
And that's what I wanted to do with her story, you guys. Grizzly made it possible to see the trial, because watching the trial is struggling from it makes me struggle because of the way that it's covered, and Grizzly breaks it all up. But this girl was still a baby, you guys, 22 years old. So let's remember her and remember the lessons that we take away from this. If you have kids, nieces, nephews, whatever, talk to them about the dating sites. And if they think they know better, show them this. This is
a light that will never dim.
Even if she's gone, her light continues through us to finish her job, to keep making it a bright place. May the family still be a bright place.
In Chattanooga, Leslie Dominique reporting.
And Jason Chen is scheduled to have his first court hearing tomorrow morning at 8:30. We will have a crew in the courtroom.
All right, here we go.
Silence filled the courtroom when Jason Chen walked in. As family and friends of Jasmine Pace, the 22-year-old he is accused of murdering, watched from the gallery. Jasmine's mother, Katrina, stood and stared Chen down. You can see her hands are shaking.
Stays here on the case of State versus Jason Chen.
Jasmine's cousin wrote to us saying the Pace family has, quote, had enough and will not settle till we simply get justice once and for all. Chen went before a judge to set his bond for a criminal homicide charge he faces. But Chen's attorney asked the judge for more time.
That at the request of the defendant, we'll ask for a bond hearing on Friday.
Hamilton County District Attorney Cody Womp says they are pursuing first-degree murder charges for Chen. Jonathan Turner is a defense attorney in Chattanooga and says there is a significant difference between the...
All right, and they upgraded. They didn't have her body at first, you guys. They did not have her body. They ruled it a death or a homicide because they found blood all over his apartment, broken glass, and then all the other things that are the usual, we'll call them usual suspects, cleaning tools and towels and whatever. So they didn't have her body, but when they did recover it, they found it in a fetal position in a suitcase, stabbed 60 times. All right. Now, Sharon, you'll have to share this information with me so we can cover that. I'd love to hear about it if you're okay with that, and even cover the story. All right, let's keep going. And Bree, I got your pictures. I think most of them are in here.
Upgraded charge Chen may face, including having to prove premeditation.
There's various ways you can prove premeditation. I believe the courts have ruled that it can be formed in an instant. So there doesn't have to be a lot of pre-thought, but there has to be some type of planning or some type of thought and intention to kill. So before you do the killing, you had to at least had some reflection, some thought that what you were doing, and then you still chose to go through with the killing.
Chen is set to appear in court again on December 9th at 12 p.m. Reporting in Chattanooga, I'm Jordan Karnback, News Channel 9.
Now that court
Right. Now this
and now a mourning family is seeking.
All right, so now we're going to show this again. Trigger warning for those of you that have had cases like this. I believe this is in remembrance of, or this is her funeral. Let's watch this. They get so sad.
Comfort amidst the chaos. In a celebration of life, those who knew her the best remembered her as a kind
brown eyes, her gracious smile, and her sweet spirit, full of love and laughter.
Loved ones filled the pews of Calvary Baptist Church in Red Bank, full of emotion, trying to hold it together. A community gathered for a celebration of life as they tried their hardest to not focus on the tragedy. It's a story that struck the nation. In November, 22-year-old Jasmine Pace was reported missing by her mother, and less than 1 week later, her body was found. Police say at the hands of her boyfriend, Jason Chen.
I can't tell you the answer to why. You can't Google this and get the answer to why this happened.
A family who's underwent a week of searching, courtrooms, a vigil, and a constant reminder of the biggest loss, now must ultimately lay her to rest.
Now, I'll keep that up while I tell you, for those of you that walked in just now or just came in, and thank you for the pictures, Bree. I got them. Most of them are going to be in there, but this happened so quick. They barely met in early 2022, you guys. Both of them were college students at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. They met on a freaking dating app. They met early 2022, and let's say November 22nd, 2022, she goes missing. She says, hey, I'm going over Jason's house. I'm going to go hang out with my baby at his apartment. She texts her mom, Katrina, that she didn't even actually say that. She said she was going to be staying at a friend's house for the rest of the week. Now, the day later, after November 22nd, Jasmine's mom receives a text from her phone at 2:18 in the morning, which luckily pinged her location. So a day later, she's not even alive, you guys. Now, 3 days later, there's a photo that appears in Jasmine's Facebook page, and it says Thanksgiving with my baby, which is saying she's with her boyfriend or whatever. Now, they're worried because she's not answering them. And then the next day, they find her vehicle on the side of the road near a condominium. Then her mom calls 911. All right, so this is 2022, Michelle. This was in 2022, and the first day of trial started today. It started today, you guys. So that's what I'm covering, so you understand what's happening. Grizzly True Crime is covering it. Her name's Jasmine Pace. She was stabbed 60 times and stuffed in a suitcase in a fetal position. All right. So this is where we are now. This happened within days, you guys.
But Jasmine's story and her fight will not go forgotten, not for her family, friends, or the Red Bank community that loves her.
May her sweet, fierce, fiery, and loyal spirit live in each and every one of us. It's not goodbye. Only see you later. And until I see you again, I will love you forever.
In Red Bank, Leslie Dominique reporting.
And
You've got last known location. You have a large.
All right, now we're making it up to court. This is obviously an order for them to get to trial. This is what happened. So we're going back 2 years of what happened from the time she went missing until court, which started, or trial, which started today. This was Thanksgiving 2022, you guys. I gotta tell you, and I always do tell you, trial takes a long time to get to. Now, this was a very open and, just boom, 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 body, gone, and yet still, 2 years, 3 years later, getting to trial, they're only dating for like 3 months, and the whole disappearance happened over days, Tiff, over days, and it takes days to happen and then years to come to trial. So when you think Stephen Sturge is going to go to trial on those dates that you see, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I don't think so.
Amount of blood. You have locations where the body's dumped that are connected to this man. You have a body that is packaged like something from Amazon.
Disturbing testimony left friends and family of 22-year-old Jasmine Pace with tears in their eyes as Jason Chen, the accused murderer of Jasmine Pace, faced his bond hearing.
Did you identify a suspect in the disappearance of Jasmine Pace?
I did.
Who was that?
Jason Chen.
Zach Crawford is a lead detective investigating Pace's murder. He says Jasmine's last known location led investigators to Chen's North Shore apartment. Crawford says blood transfers and DNA evidence pinned Pace as Chen's victim.
We could tell due to the condition of the blood at the time that it was apparent that some sort of cleanup had happened at that location.
Was it the police department's opinion that this crime that had been committed was survivable?
No.
Testimony revealed they used Chen's cell phone location to not only track him down at his parents' home in Nolensville, but also find Jasmine's body.
The decedent is a young woman who is in that suitcase in basically a fetal position.
In a suitcase, in a fetal position, stabbed 60 times, you guys. That is pure evil. You gotta, earlier when we started the episode, I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 60. And he left her on the side of the road all by herself in a freaking suitcase. Thank God that he was sloppy, but yes, Augustina, absolute monster. Now, you guys do me a favor. I want to get this in the algorithm so that people know the trial that Grizzly True Crime is covering this week. I just want to do a episode that covers from the start until trial. So hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and then share with your community and friends. Yeah, 60 times is a frenzy, but I'm going to tell you right now, 60 times more than likely was a jealousy thing. Maybe the jealousy was unwarranted. Maybe it was. I don't know. But never should you ever do that to someone. And she's someone's child. The mom's the one that is the one that did all this to find her. Her mom was on it from day one.
There were two sets of shackle or handcuff devices. Both of them went from her ankles to her right wrist and upper arm.
Dr. Stephen Cogswell is the Deputy Chief Medical Examiner for Hamilton County. He says Pace was wrapped in trash bags and stuffed inside a rolling suitcase, caught up in kudzu.
There's a total of 60, that is 60, sharp force injuries, both stab wounds and cuts or incised wounds.
Some of those wounds, Cogswell testified, showed Jasmine fought back.
Are wounds that are inflicted on the hands or arms when someone is trying to ward off a knife or a blow from something.
Dozens of Pace's family and friends shocked when the judge announced he was granting Chen bond at $5 million.
I will set his bond at $5 million. In addition to that,
you hear the court crying and making noises. This is in Tennessee where Sebastian Rogers is. This is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the trial is happening right now, folks. Trial day 2 begins tomorrow. Day 1 happened today, and Grizzly True Crime is covering. Yeah, absolute psycho rage. Some jealousy that got out of control.
That if he does make bond, he'll be on house arrest with geographical restrictions, and he will have to forfeit his passport.
The next time Chen will be in court is on February 16th for his preliminary hearing. Reporting in Chattanooga.
All right, let's look at this psycho.
Part-time jobs, one at a clothing store. The DA's office tried to establish that Chen was a flight risk since he has family in China and his parents live in Nashville.
Because he's telling me he's very scared here, and I promise I'll take him, my husband and I will take him to court every time.
Now, a CPD homicide detective testified that Chen's cell phone records indicate he went to the Nashville airport sometime between when Jasmine died and when police arrested him. Chen's mother says a family friend of Jasmine Pace showed up at their door asking to speak to Jason about Pace's disappearance. His mother says she called her son, who told her he didn't know anything about it. Kim.
Patricia, thank you. Wow. Chen's mother also testified her son said that he didn't know anything about Jasmine being missing.
Oh, I'm sure.
County.
All right.
Offenses, meaning you have to get a bond set. The only real exception is a capital case, meaning a murder case that the state has asked for the death penalty.
But Turner says only a percentage of the bond needs to be paid.
If your bond is $5 million, in this case, 10% would be the standard amount due. So in that case, we'd be talking $500,000. It would be very unlikely that a bonding company would be willing to make a bond that high because it puts their company on risk.
As gruesome details were uncovered in court about how Jasmine was killed, District Attorney Cody Womp made it clear that no bond was high enough in the opinion of the state.
Any restriction that can be placed on this individual, the entire state, the entire country, maybe even China is better.
I can't even understand why they did that. Now, keep in mind, folks, trial started today. Tomorrow's day 2. Everything went all good. I don't know why they did this. It was such a brutal, and he had to have planned it. Maybe it was a crime of passion at the time, but when you have cleaning supplies and you have a suitcase and you package someone up like they're trash and you throw them on the side of the road and you dump their car, there's premeditation to that, folks. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you, and thanks for all your commentary.
Better off.
Now, the next time Chen will appear in court is for a preliminary hearing, February 16th at 9 a.m. Haley?
Jordan, thank you. You can.
All right, let's watch the
Now,
timeline.
then on the night of that same day, Jasmine's car was found near Mountain Creek Road, which is not too far from Suck Creek Road, where police say Jasmine's body was found on December 1st. News Channel 9 Sam Pena has more on what investigators testified about in court.
3 months after being arrested for the murder of Jasmine Pace, Jason Chen is now set to face a grand jury. This after new evidence and pictures from inside of Chen's apartment paint a picture of the night police say Jasmine Pace was killed.
Would this represent blood evidence in Mr. Chen's apartment?
At first glance, it's a clean apartment, but a closer look reveals a disturbing story.
Specifically in that corner is going to be visible blood that is in the grout of the tiles.
Homicide investigator Zach Crawford says these photos were taken inside the apartment of Jason Chen, where police believe Jasmine Pace was killed.
I've never seen the amount of Blue Star reagent that I have until this case.
Crawford says detectives used the chemical Blue Star, which glows to reveal blood.
Damn, look
he
at
says
that,
DNA
guys.
testing showed over a liter of blood on the bathroom, bedroom, and kitchen floor in Chen.
Now, keep in mind, they arrested him before they found a body, you guys. He perpetrated the crime, right? Absolutely. They didn't even have the body when they arrested him. So that's how this progressed. They initially got the pings, went to his house, and that's why they went to his house, because her mom had the sense enough to ping Jasmine Pace, say Jasmine Pace's name so everybody hears about Jasmine Pace. She's who we need justice for. That's what he did, and they had that enough to arrest. Luckily, he didn't do such a good job disposing of the body, and she was all intact. He just put her in a fetal position and dumped her like trash with 60 stab wounds. That's how you get that, how it lit up.
Apartment, all belonging to Jasmine Pace.
If this blood matter belong to one individual, would it likely be survivable?
No.
Prosecutors then showed this picture, which police say shows Chen at a Signal Mountain Walmart, buying towels, bandages, and peroxide, but ringing them up as...
He then logs them as asparagus.
Investigators also walked through
Wow.
Chen's cell phone data, which they say tracked him to a stop on Suck Creek Road, where police found a suitcase.
What was in that bag?
There it
Jasmine
is.
Pace.
Defense questioning revealed that Jasmine's mother, Katrina, made her way into Chen's apartment on the 27th and took several of Jasmine's items and Chen's banking records.
We heard about those documents and those things that were collected by the family. We then went and recovered those items.
From where?
From her residence, Katrina Pace's residence.
Chen's attorney attempted to argue that Katrina contaminated and tampered with evidence at the scene.
Defense calls Katrina Pace.
But the judge denied the request to question her,
We will not hear from the witness.
saying he'd seen enough to send Chen before a grand jury.
The proof speaks for itself, Your Honor.
In Chattanooga reporting, I'm Sam Pena.
Ew, he does look like Richard Ramirez, doesn't he? He gives me those Richard Ramirez vibes too. You guys say a prayer that Jazzy gets justice. This trial is set to go fairly quick. It's moving pretty fast through the. I think there's going to be enough evidence to convict him fairly quickly, but it's taken a really long time to get there. All right, let's listen to what she has to say. We're back in court, and this is to get him to trial, which is what takes forever. And yes, yet another suitcase, you guys. He was cleaning up the mess to conceal his crime, and he didn't do a good job, and they didn't find the body just yet. He is very creepy, Jason. Mom was worried. Mom's the one that put a APB out for her daughter. Not really, but she's the one that went looking into her daughter missing. She was 22, Rosie. 22. She's a baby. She told her mom she was going to be at her friend's for a week, and that's what happened. And that creeper even sent a text message at 2:18 in the morning to pretend like it was her.
It's a note box to see if maybe he wrote a note. Anything that I thought could be to help someone find her.
The defense asked several family members about a knife found on Chen's bed that his attorney claims was not present in prior body camera footage.
Did you leave a knife on the bed?
Travis Pace, Jasmine's biological father, says he did move his daughter's ID on the counter when he found it inside Chen's apartment.
Why did you need them to see that?
So that they could connect that she at least is somehow involved in this apartment. If she's a missing person, there's one bit closer to finding out where she may be next.
Pace's family say their only motive was to find Jasmine.
You needed to help them do their investigation.
I know, I need to find my daughter.
Katrina Pace says there are certain things she doesn't remember about the time she spent looking for Jasmine and entering Jason Chen's apartment.
Yeah, see, they were trying to say that they disrupted the evidence, and Carol says her grandma just died and went over there for consolation, and he does this. Wow, you know more about this story? Yeah, the mom was young, didn't even look like a mom of a 22-year-old, and the dad, they all just wanted to find their daughter, and they did. And they did. All right, let's keep going. Here, this guy's so creepy looking.
From the crime scene. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Josh Rowe.
And I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield. This involves Jason Chen. Prosecutors say he killed Jasmine Pace, put her body in a suitcase, and left it on Suck Creek Road. Well, today, court appearance continues as a previous hearing from last month.
In the first hearing, Pace's mother, Katrina, admitted to going inside Chen's apartment several times. She also said she took phones, a tablet, a notebook, and other items from the scene, going against advice from police.
It's normal for you to break into other people's apartments.
No.
And it's not normal for you to conduct a search like this.
It's not normal for my daughter to be missing.
Yeah,
Katrina Pace went on to say she was frustrated with how police were handling this case. Today, some of those officers testified in court.
News Channel 9's Jordan Carnback breaks down their testimony and what their body cam footage reveals.
Today is a continuation of a hearing against Jason Chen, who was charged with first-degree murder.
Remember, they're in trial right now, so you're going to be able to see all this information and more. This is all that needs to happen in all cases. So we're going to, when you say we're ready for the Soto case, all of this still has to happen. And yes, the justice system sucks sometimes, you guys. It really does. They put family through hell because the defendant has just as many rights, if not more, as the victims. Yeah, the mom looks like a sister because she was a baby. She was 22 years old.
And abuse of a corpse in the death of Jasmine Pace, the focus shifted on the Chattanooga police and the searches of Chen's apartment.
Yes, that's him.
Today, attorneys played body camera footage from November of 2022 when Jasmine Pace's mother reported her daughter missing.
He just lied and said that he hadn't talked to her. He talked to her for a few minutes Monday when she was with me at the bank. He talked to her for 71 minutes.
It revealed Katrina Pace had a phone conversation with Jason Chen while she was trying to figure out what happened to Jasmine.
He talked to her for 71 minutes after the He would
Look at
remember
that.
that. And then he was in the hospital dying.
It's like trying to see
He talked to her for over an hour. And he just lied.
That footage shows Katrina Pace telling officers she got a notification that her daughter was going to South Carolina with her friend Emma.
What?
But she later found out that was not true. Pace also told Chattanooga police officer Mackenzie Pierre someone was resetting her daughter's passwords on her phone.
Did you ever go down there after you made contact with the family?
No.
Jason Chen's neighbors told officers they heard concerning screaming coming from Chen's apartment.
It was another one on, not more yelling.
Katrina Pace said then that she was frustrated about how law enforcement was handling the case. So
Damn.
much so that she and her husband entered Chen's apartment several times and took items from the scene.
We had to make sure that no one was still inside the apartment.
Damn, they definitely intervened on that. I'm glad the family stepped in. And Wendy, we all follow Plunder, but I don't think this is on Plunder. We're doing Grizzly True Crime is covering this case right now, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you want to drop a link in chat or something, you can. Yeah, they didn't do a welfare check, and when they asked the boyfriend, he just lied to him and said, "Oh, I don't know." So the family bursted in and found her ID and other various things. And yeah, Sunshine, you can tell they were young kids. It's like a college place where kids, so they probably heard screaming and didn't report it because they realized, or they thought it was just, kids getting out of control. All right. Yeah, definitely get the 360, guys. And don't forget to hit the like button so we can get this and people can watch it before the trial. I really want people to know what the trial's about.
Chattanooga police officer Trevor Creighton testified that's what Katrina Pace and her husband did.
It had been explained to us that the family had made entry into this apartment before police arrived on scene.
In Chattanooga, Jordan Karnback, News Channel 9.
Officers say they suggested action that the family could take within the legal limits, like hiring a private investigator. A hearing on the motion to suppress evidence will continue in May. A judge also pushed Jason Chen's trial back to September. It was initially slated to begin in June.
See how that
Waiting
happens.
for hours today as Jason Chen's attorney made his case in Hamilton County Criminal Court. And that's as they push to suppress that evidence found in Jasmine Pace's murder case. Now, we told you previously how Jasmine Pace's mother had entered Chen's apartment to search for her daughter who went missing back in November of 2022. Chen's attorney argues that because that search was, quote, tainted, almost all the evidence that was gathered after that should be, quote, void. Now, this is the third hearing in this case just detailing the request to suppress that evidence. In July, a judge denied a portion of that request, and then today they continued making their case and questioned witnesses. Chen's attorney says that search warrants that were taken out based on the mother's questionable searches, and he says that that evidence led them to track Chen's location.
Can you believe that? That's such bullshit, you guys. I'd be so upset if I was out there doing the detective work, because that's what you do as a parent, and that messed something up with the trial. I cannot wait. I've been watching the day one all day today, trying to watch it, but it was hard for me to keep up with it while I was at work. And like I said, I'm very visual. I'm visual, and if I'm listening to something, it's not as good as if I'm watching it. So they only happened because they waived their right to a speed trial. This took 3 years to get to.
Did you rely on the defendant's cell phone records?
No, his actual phone records didn't even have to go in there. At first, I thought it was due to turning the phone airplane mode, or potentially just not receiving any type of data or phone calls at the time. Was when the victim's phone led us to Walmart.
Judge Patterson described this motion today as, quote, complex, and said that each hearing is taking the defense's request step by step. Ultimately, he denied the motion to suppress that evidence. Now, tonight at 6, I'll have more on the specific evidence that Chen's attorney wanted to suppress.
All right, and we'll get into that, and then you guys can go and watch other stuff and watch the trial. Now, this creeper is claiming self-defense. She weighed less than 100 pounds, and he also stabbed her 60 times, you guys. Yeah, okay, so you guys talk about speedy trials. That only happens quickly when when they don't go with a speedy trial. It'll be way quicker if it doesn't, but that rarely happens because they try to hit all angles. Let's see what the judge decides about admitted into evidence. Let's watch. Let's go. All right, here it is.
Screaming coming from his apartment. Today, we saw more evidence that could end up being used in that trial.
News Channel 9's Lily Butler has more on what was shown in court today. Lily.
Kim, Josh, today was the final hearing before Jason Chen's trial. Prosecutors and Chen's defense team reviewed evidence, debating whether it should be used in the trial. That evidence includes notes Chen wrote that detailed a timeline of his interactions with Jasmine Pace and preparations for legal action. We also saw body camera footage of the night Chen was taken into custody at his mother's home in Williamson County. Chen can be heard talking with police when they arrived at the home. Prosecutors pointed out Chen's calm demeanor and this quote as to why they want to use this during his trial.
So you said there was a search warrant from me, correct? Yeah, there's a search warrant for your person, so we're local police department, we're going to be paying you in the flash search warrant. We're assisting Chattanooga. Okay, and is there any probable cause or that you tell? Yeah, they're going to
The defense argued that jurors could form unfair prejudice or assumptions from the video. They
And you know what? That guy they will form that opinion. This guy brutally took her life and then discarded her like trash after attacking her the way he did. And what did he have probable cause? What is he? Oh, yeah, baby boy, right, Ashley? What a baby boy. And yeah, he did. He stabbed her 60 times when he handcuffed her and she was unable to protect herself. And then he put her in a fetal position and another suitcase. Oh my goodness, man. Thank you for explaining this. Waiving speedy trial allows for defense to build up as much as possible. Not waiving it forces the DA to prosecute and get a conviction based on the evidence they already have. So that's when something moves really quickly, when a trial moves quickly. But if you're waiving it, right, then you have more time. Like the Brian Koberger case. Why would an innocent man not want to go to trial? Why would he sit there for years and years? You guys take a guess. And her mom found burner phones, cameras, knives. Such a nice guy, right? Oh, they knew, you guys.
noted Chen had not been read his rights at the moment the video was captured. They also added he was speaking to his mother in Mandarin without a translator present. Judge Patterson asked the state to develop a 30-second clip from the video. Then he will rule if it can be allowed during the trial. Jury selection for Chen's trial will take place in Nashville next week. The trial is slated to begin on January 13th.
There you go. Today is January 13th, my lovely people, and hence the trial started today. And you know who loves these? I want to shout out to my mom. I didn't see her earlier, but Mama Pearl loves watching these true crimes that I do. 60 minutes of true crime. So basically you get an hour-long episode. Again, Grizzly True Crime is streaming it. Let's finish up, and then I'll let you guys get out of here. Class will be over.
Really, thank you. Judge Patterson ruled Chen's notes could be used with certain redactions. He also reviewed medical examiner photos ahead of their use in the trial. We have full coverage of the case at newschannel9.com. Less than a week away from the murder trial of Jason Chen. Chen is from Chattanooga and faces charges in connection to the death of Jasmine Pace. We've been bringing you updates on the story since 2022, and tomorrow we know jury selection begins in Nashville.
All right, Thursday. We have that.
Depending on how the questionnaire discussion goes, that will determine what.
We'll have team coverage of the Chen trial.
All right, you guys, and they're covering it. They sure are. Let me show you a picture of her, since I did get a picture from Bree. She sent me some pictures. I just want you to know who this case is about and pray that we get justice for this beautiful young lady, Jasmine Pace. This is why I brought this to you today, because I really wanted you guys to hear about the dating app, the Suitcase, another Suitcase trial, and just the awful things that happen. More baby boy vibes, right? All that. So I appreciate you guys. I thank you so much. Remember this young lady's face. She was 22 years old when her life was taken, and very brutally, you guys. Very, very brutal. All right? So say a prayer for Jasmine that she gets justice and that the family feels like they got justice too. And the jury's sequestered too. Wow, that's a big deal, Michelle. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Tell them that they need to watch this so we can get justice for Jasmine. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Mwah.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?